Shedeur Sanders postgame press conference, Week 11 versus Baltimore Ravens. You ever watch someone's whole public life compress into 48 hours, debut, robbery, hot takes, and now a first start, and think, yeah, this one's going to be fun to watch? Shedeur Sanders' NFL intro read like a movie pitch nobody asked for. He gets thrust into a primetime mess, completes 4 of 16 for 47 yards with an interception and a pair of sacks in a rough cameo, cops a calm, borderline defiant quote about being the guy, and then finds out thieves took roughly $200,000 from his house while he was on the field. That sequence would rattle anyone. For Shedeur, it doubles as a test and an opportunity to answer critics, to steady himself, and to let the football do the talking. Reuters, let's be blunt. The box score was ugly and not in the rookie learning curve way that makes for gentle columns. He finished with a passer rating in single digits, looked late to progress through reads, and got hit in the hands repeatedly because the timing just wasn't there. That matters because quarterbacks don't operate in vacuum. Timing with your line, quick chemistry with receivers, and the ability to absorb hits and reset the offense are everything at this level. The first time under NFL heat, the clock doesn't pause for pedigree or storylines. You either move the chains or the defense eats you alive. CBS Sports. But there's nuance, and it's the kind of nuance that separates hot takes from useful reads. Shedeur didn't get a full week of first-team practice prepping for this. He was accelerated into action when Dillon Gabriel went down, so the rhythm and playbook reps were compressed. The sacks and the interception are real problems, sure, but so is the context. Coaching decisions, protection calls, and a half season of timing that a rookie usually needs. That doesn't excuse poor throws, it just makes the path forward more obvious. Fix the reads, increase the reps, and watch the mechanics stabilize. ESPN.com. Here's the emotional beat. Shedeur's reaction after the chaos was a masterclass in narrative control. Instead of melodrama, he said, "I feel like I'm the guy. I know I'm the guy," and leaned into work. That line is small but telling. It's not arrogance. It's an attempt to center the conversation on growth rather than gossip. The burglary, the social media swirl, the nepo baby slams, those are noise. What the league, coaches, and fans actually care about is day-to-day performance and toughness when the noise crescendos. He chose to let the work answer the chatter. NBC Sports Now, the fork in the road. His first official start comes against the Las Vegas Raiders, a defense that on paper isn't elite this season, but that's the exact trap where rookies get chewed up. A starter's debut on a soft opponent can look like a coronation if everything goes right, clean protections, easy reads, and a couple of positive throws, or it can become proof for the critics if the line stumbles and an opportunistic defense pays attention. This game is less about the opponent on tape and more about the Browns' ability to script a manageable day. Quick drops, rhythm throws, heavy pre-snap work, and a simplified read tree to rebuild confidence. NFL.com. Here's the 3-part checklist I want you watching on Sunday. The micrometrics that tell the story beyond the scoreboard. 1. Drop to release time. If Sanderson gives him even an extra half second to sit and scan, he'll get flattened. If the Browns scheme to get the ball out in under 2.5 seconds, he'll look like a different QB. 2. Target distribution. Does he trust his chain movers and checkdowns, or does he force deep throws into tight windows? The first shows poise, the second shows panic. 3. Third down competence. Convert a few early third downs and you change the game plan from protect the rookie to let him play. Those little victories compound into calm. Noisy highlight reels don't. The quiet 6-yard completions do. Reuters, let's be clear about the stakes. This start won't decide his career. It will, however, drastically shape the immediate narrative. A competent, mistake-light outing makes the I told you so crew quieter and gives coaches breathing room to refine. A shaky one with turnovers and a benching, that supplies the critics with endless fodder and might alter how long the team lets him work through growing pains. Coaches don't just coach for 1 week, they manage seasons, so this game will factor into how much runway he gets. The Browns have historically cycled quarterbacks. This is another chapter in that story. ESPN.com pivotal human moment. Remember that the public's binary instinct, hype train versus hate train, is a lazy narrative. Players are messy and careers are incremental. Shedeur's life this week had the theatrical bits people live for: the burglary, the clip packages, the hot takes. But the quieter truth is he's a player, still learning how to operate in an environment that is mean to rookies. If he answers with competence, humility, and work, he turns a messy week into a character episode. If he answers with excuses or repeats the same mistakes, the I told you so crowd will sharpen their pencils. Either way, the game will talk loudest. People.com. Now for the twist and the fun part. The people who scream nepo baby are often the same ones who forget football is a sport of adjustments. If Shedeur's coaches simplify the offense, lean on play action after a couple of safe completions, and use misdirection and pre-snap motion to buy him comfort, he'll look better. Not because of miracles, but because smart coaching offsets rookie errors. Conversely, if the team sticks him in a full West Coast menu and expects pro-level reads immediately, you'll get the social media narrative you already saw. Coaching choices this week will be as influential as his throws. NFL.com. So what's the bottom line for your Sunday watch list? Watch the first 2 drives. If he completes 60% of those throws, avoids turnovers, and moves the chains at least once on 3rd down, chalk it up as a productive debut. If he's erratic, ying to do too much, or gets skewered by sacks and turnovers early, the Browns will face a real decision about how to protect him going forward. Either outcome is valuable data. Either outcome tells you whether the hype had a pulse or the hate had a point. Either way, the NFL machine will promptly overreact. That's the sport. Reuters, final image to leave you with. Shedeur's line, "The game got to speak," is the show's log line. For a kid whose week included a debut, a robbery, and critics galore, asking the field to be the final arbiter is simple and brave. The field never lies for long. It's loud, it's unforgiving, and it's honest. If you want to board a train this weekend, pick the one that runs on plays, not on tweets. The rest, let the game speak. Pick a side. Are you on the hype train or the hate train? Either way, buckle up, because this weekend, the NFL is handing Shedeur Sanders his first real verdict in front of the whole country, and it's going to be loud. He stepped into an impossible scene last week, replacing Dillon Gabriel after a concussion, and the stat line was merciless. 4 of 16, 47 yards, 1 interception, and 2 sacks. Those numbers don't sugarcoat anything. It was a rookie's baptism by fire. ESPN.com. Let's slow down and put that in context. Sanders didn't get the offseason that some imagined he deserved. He tumbled to the 5th round of the draft and arrived in Cleveland behind a plan built around another rookie, Dillon Gabriel, with veterans taking backup reps. That meant Shedeur's practice reps with the first team were limited, and on Sunday he had to improvise out of a playbook and timing he hadn't lived inside. The result looked messy, not just because he missed throws, but because the scaffolding that makes NFL reads possible wasn't there for him.